What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This is the Hypermotard ride along. It's not really a first ride since I've already ridden it home. I can't do a genuine first impression, but I'll try my best to at least give you guys a feel of how, you know, how the bike feels when you ride it, I suppose. Right now, this is the perfect environment that it's in, you know, the urban setting. I'm not on the urban setting, I'm on sport setting, but in this kind of scenario, this is kind of where it shines, you know, the stop and go traffic, commuting, things like that. It's just, I think this is what this bike is really for. It's just ultimately just a fun motorcycle. You just get on and you go do whatever, you know, you do errands with, you want to ride sport, you want to ride the back roads. I know there's like cheaper motorcycles to do that in, but you know, for Ducati, this is that bike. You have a comfortable seating position, you're high up, you can see traffic. That's really my biggest takeaways for the Hypermotard is that it's exactly that. It's just an easy get on and go motorcycle, and like I mentioned on the previous video, it's capable of almost anything, and it's not the best at anything at the same time. It's not the best at anything, but it's capable of doing most things, and I kind of like that on a motorcycle because, like I said, I have more fun riding this like immediately compared to like a sport bike or a V4. The V4, while that is a missile and is such a precision engineered motorcycle made for the track and it is super fast, this thing has 114 horsepower. I mean, you really, like, this is like when you get to use all the power, you know, that you paid for, you get to use most of it, if anything. It feels good. You actually twist the throttle and like, it's not as scary, but there's power there. It's not like it's not like it's lacking any power. This is a stock RVE, stock Hypermotard. I don't even have an exhaust on it yet, but it sounds good. It sounds good already. And imagine with an exhaust, it will be deeper, louder. You know, like it just, I can't wait to get an exhaust on this thing. So let's talk about the power, since a good segue there. There's power on almost every gear. So basically you shift to first, second gear, third, fourth, fifth, all the way to sixth. But when you, and even if you throttle, if you give it some throttle, there's still power, there's still some torque left in there. It's just crazy. So basically this is a torque oriented motorcycle. It's still the Ducati twin, so it's not the V4. I can't imagine a Hypermotard with a V4. I wonder how crazy that would be. But I feel like if you have a V4 Hypermotard, it would also be a little bit fatter, you know, if that makes any sense. A Supermoto in essence is a skinny motorcycle, almost like a bicycle with a motor. So that's kind of like what makes them so agile, is the fact that you can just throw them around. It's lightweight, you know, and it's just crazy how much it builds up on power. And it has a quick shifter. That's crazy. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how to wheelie, but this bike always wants to wheelie first, second and third. If you really like hammer the throttle down, it wants to go up. It doesn't have it has the wheelie control. It has the Ducati safety pack and all that stuff. You can turn the wheelie control off and stuff like that. He has those modes too. I haven't messed with it. It's just it's on basic settings right now. Basic sport mode, whatever sport mode has. I went through the options. It's the same with the V4 Panigale. So I guess they're going with the same interface for all the bikes of this era. Yeah, it's really nice. It just rides really nice. It sounds good too for a stock bike. I'm gonna try to hop into a freeway here in a second just to show you guys. It's no slouch, you know, on the freeway. You would give up first because of the wind drag that you feel. So it's not the bike giving up, it's you giving up. The bike has plenty of power to go. My suspension right now, I haven't had it set up for, you know, sag or anything like that. So it's all whatever came from the factory. I haven't done anything yet, so I'm still waiting on parts and personalizing and stuff like that. I haven't done anything. I just cleaned it, washed it, made sure all the fluids are on a good level. Other than that, it's yeah, just like I said, like I would get on this bike first before the V4 on most days, like almost most days, you know. It's just so easy, like with the bench seat and everything. You just throw your leg over that, you have like a whole seat that you can move around in. To be honest, the bench seat, that's kind of like what I like about bench seats. Like when I had the Supermoto, the 690 SMC, I like the bench seat because if you're uncomfortable, technically you have a whole seat, so you can sit a little bit like sideways or a little bit, you know, further back, forward. You're not restricted to just sitting at one spot, even though it is uncomfortable. So there's that aspect of the bench seat. I sit kind of sideways on Supermotos on long rides, a little bit sideways, or one cheek at a time kind of thing. It's kind of weird, but you know, you got to do what you got to do to get comfortable. Let's go to Los Angeles. Right, let's hop in the Freeway and see how she feels. I mean, he already feels really good because I already rode this home almost 200 miles. There, look at that. It's so sharp, like it's so confidence inspiring in terms of like the grip and yeah, this bike is no slouch. You can get up in the Freeway. I accelerated from second gear there, I think third gear, I'm not sure actually, I didn't look, but it has plenty of power. It has no problem keeping up with traffic for sure. Where are we going? I don't even know where we're going, but like I mentioned earlier, there's no wind protection, so it hits you right in the stomach area all the way to your head. So if there's a lot of wind, you gotta kind of duck in, kind of like that. It's just how it is. Supermotos, dirt bikes, they're just how it is. Finally got off that freeway. It's hard to talk when there's wind like hitting you straight on the face and your whole body. Hopefully, I mean, there's not much for me to say. It is essentially a Supermoto, you know, with a lot of power, Ducati style, you know, that's how they do things. There's not much to it. I actually wonder if you could put the Olin suspension on here to gain more suspension travel. I did call my local dealership about that, but you know, they're not sure. They're looking into it, but I'm really, you don't really, the Marzocchi forks are fine. For the most part, it's pretty tall already, but my legs are bent. You know, I flat foot this bike, so I like it when I'm tiptoed a little bit, because it kind of, I don't know, I like stretching my legs when I can. Yeah, so just that kind of thing. I like it a little bit taller. So if not the Olins, maybe some cartridge system that I could put in will make it taller or whatever. That's just something in the back of my mind, but it's really low priority. Mainly, there's not much you need on this bike. You can just use it straight out of the box, and it's amazing. I bought the throttle spacer, like I mentioned on the previous video, because I kind of got used to that after putting one on the V4. I never really used throttle spacers before. I had the other Ducatis. I don't even know if they had throttle play, because I never really paid attention to that until somebody, Jeff, the local V4 guy, he mentioned it, and now it's in my mind on every single bike now. One of those things I wish I didn't know until. Anyway, I'll put that on. The radiator guards for sure. I already have a dent on one of the fins. Kind of sucks, you know. I already dented a couple of fins there, and just it drives me crazy just seeing dent fins. I hate seeing that. Yeah, just something about sitting upright, you know, like the Super Duke, bikes like that. It's just, you enjoy it in a different way. It's like it's a different sensation when you're riding like this versus riding like this. Like hunched over, you don't see a lot of the vistas, you know. But that's awesome on the track because aerodynamics and everything. But if you're just out for a ride, just enjoying the ride, and you know, a bike like this is really, that's kind of like the point of this bike, or any bike that is upright sitting position. It just gives you like the whole sensation of riding because you're comfortable, you're sitting, you're upright, you get to use, you know, your whole neck, and you know, you can turn around and look at everything. Yeah, it's a different sensation. If you're in, you know, sometimes you don't want to ride sport, you know, you kind of want to relax sometimes, just sit back and, like, you know, have a lot of ground clearance and just go anywhere really. It's that's what this bike is for. It's not, like I said, I wasn't looking for this bike before I saw it, but like, you know, just the idea of it, I'm familiar with it since I've had Hypermotards and Supermotos in the past. It's a perfect complement to a sport bike, you know. It's a, like I said in the previous video as well, it's a second or third bike for you. It works best for something like that. So yeah, I don't want to, you know, I think I'm repeating myself now, but hopefully that gives you guys an idea on, you know, if you're looking to for something like this. I know this is kind of like, there's no competition to the Hypermotard really. You can say that it's a supermoto. It's not really. It's a tall sport bike. It's fast. It's as fast as some 600cc motorcycles. So that's just how crazy this bike is. So you can't say that like, oh yeah, it's like a supermoto. No, it's 114 horsepower supermoto, and that's insane. Because I modified my Husqvarna 701. I maxed it out. That's only pushing out 75 horsepower, or 80 at best. You know, I'm over exaggerating there. I think that's probably 70 to the wheels or something. It's not, you know, and this is crazy. So it's crazy to have a bike of that kind of sitting position and genre, and how light it is, and with that much power. It's just crazy. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little explanation, and I hope I see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.